My name is Nicole Mason Suarez, and I'm originally from Springfield, Massachusetts. I got arrested for armed burglary, aggravated assault, and I can tell you that it was a direct result of my drug addiction. I got severely hooked on painkillers when I was a gymnast, and it was probably when I was about 15. And then slowly but surely it morphed into a full-on drug addiction. It was right about the time when the whole Oxycontin just came out, and it is what it is now, but it was right at the beginning. I got arrested 9 years ago, and so I served 5 years in prison, and I've been out for 3. What the program does is it takes off-track thoroughbreds from the racetrack, and they can no longer race. Most of them have like soundness issues, they're not able to do anything other than graze out in the grass. That's it. So what they do is it takes women like us, we go in there, we learn basic grooming, care of the horses, feed programs, we learn basic trimming, which is where the blacksmith comes in, they do shoeing and stuff like that. Like women, that's a skill that I know a lot of the men at the male institutions have gone out and had careers with that. So it's very useful, but it gives them an opportunity to, like I did, have another life. I'd never been around a horse a day in my life, and I galloped horses for the racetrack, getting them ready. So I want to say it was probably the last year and a half of my sentence that I was in the horse program. Usually only 15 can go out at a time with the rules of the prison facility and everything like that, but I think up to 20 people can be on the roster, and they just kind of rotate. There is curriculum and tests that you take and everything like that, so it just depends. I was fortunate to be able to be in it until I left prison. There's a lot of options. There's in this area alone, there's a high demand for grooms. It's not a very high paying job, but it's kind of like getting in on the ground floor in grooms. You can work your way up to assistant trainer, running somebody's stable. I'm an exercise rider. I gallop horses for trainers. And of course, I run business with my boyfriend now, and we do our own upselling of the 2-year-olds, the sales. There's at least 15, I want to say, at least, and they have them in Virginia, New York, Kentucky. They have obviously in Florida, but there's a fair amount of the programs. We are the only in Lowell. It's the only women's facility, though. The rest are all run by the male institution. And we are the only facility that I believe you get a certificate. Like I don't believe that the other ones are as strict on their requirements. It gave me the life I have. I was like you. I've never been around a horse a day in my life. Never. I mean, I went out there and I'd never been around a horse, and I learned everything. I mean, I just immersed myself in it, and I was so grateful to be given an opportunity where, in such a bad situation, I just go out there and learn. I mean, there were books, cases of books. There's people that have been there before you to show you, hey, this is how you do things, this is the way. And I mean, it was funny. I was always in there going, well, what am I going to do when I get out of here? What am I going to do? And somebody said to me, well, what if what you're doing now is what you're supposed to be doing? And it gave me the life I have today. So the recidivism rate on women that have been in this program, I think the majority have not gone back. Like it's really good in its favor. But I mean, I can't imagine where I would be. I probably, because of that program, I chose to do everything different. I moved to Ocala. I'd never been to Ocala in my life. I moved somewhere I didn't know anybody. Mr. Evans, who ran that program, was a tremendous help in helping me find a job when I got out. I mean, transportation, everything helped me out tremendously and has pointed me in the right direction, So it took a lot of faith just to go somewhere I've never been. I didn't know anybody, So like I said before, it gave me the life I have, and the life I have is second to none. I think it's important to remember that this program is so important because people who donate, they think that they're just helping the horses, but really you're helping the people that are there, So I think it's important to note that this program is so unique as to other rescue programs and things like that, because most of those other rescue programs, it's like, oh, well, we turn them into a hunter jumper, and we do. Most of those horses that come to that program, they're lame. They will never be anything other than a yard ornament, so to speak. But there, they have a purpose. They take people like me who come in there that have never been around a horse, and the horse becomes the teacher, and they're there for us to learn. I mean, they have a purpose there, and I think that's what makes it so unique from everything else. I think what's most important, the biggest thing that program does for me and for what it does for the other women in that program is it gives you kind of a piece of yourself back. You go to prison and you lose your dignity. You're most women and other people, they go, you're full of guilt and shame for what you did. You can't, nobody imagines that they ever would have been there and that their life would have turned to this, you know. So it helps you heal almost. It gives you a piece of yourself back, you know, and that was the biggest thing for me. Like it gave me hope that, you know, maybe there was a second chance for me. So.